beyond the one we know, where the powers of darkness fear nothing but one man. Stop! Blade.
We represent the ruling body of the vampire nation. They're offering you a truce. They want to meet with you.
You sure about this?
They'll take us in deeper than we've ever been.
Now, those he has sworn to kill need his help to fight a new breed of terror.
They're no longer top of the food chain.
Our forces are ready to fight, but we need a leader.
Let me get this right. You want me to hunt them? For you?
Ooh, so exciting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer.
Calling all freaks. Calling all freaks now.
Here I am, Blade. Wesley Snipes.
Not know who you are messing with.
Blade 2.
Calling all freaks now.
Hey everyone, this is Mario again, coming at you with another movie review. Today I'm reviewing the second entry in the Blade series, and I have to say, out of the 3 films, this is probably my favorite of them. It was the first one I was introduced to, and it takes everything that makes the first movie great and makes it better. I mean, the CGI effects in it are better, for one, because that's the one thing I'll say that has not aged well about the first movie, but it's early CGI, so I forgive it. But in this movie, last time I watched it, at least, I didn't really notice it. You know, it's not like where you're like, ah, that's definitely CGI. I mean, there might be parts that are like, oh, it looks like CGI, but it looks pretty good. And this film's almost 10 years old. The effects still look pretty good. And there's also, looks like they mixed practical effects in it, especially makeup, which I really do miss makeup work when they use it in a part they should, where they use it in a place where they didn't use it where they should have used it. Now, as you can see, I got the DVD for it. I need to get the one for the first movie, and I actually do like the special features on this, you know. Deleted and alternate scenes of the director's commentary, which, that was interesting. There's some documentaries, the trailers, music video, a couple other things. And I got this DVD for $3 when I was in Vegas a couple years ago at the garage sale there for about $3, so good price. Now, the movie is directed by Guillermo del Toro, which the only other one of his I've seen Mimic, which I haven't seen in years. I'm going to watch it again through Netflix, see if I still like it. I have not seen The Devil's Backbone or Pan's Labyrinth, so I can't comment on them, but I know Devil's Backbone was on that Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments. And I do like Hellboy, and I do like Hellboy 2. And with those 2 films and this film, I can say Guillermo is good at directing comic book movies, because he has the right style for it. And I listened to him talk a little bit about this movie. You can tell he's the right director for the job, especially to follow up Mr. Norrington. Like the first film, it's written by David Goyer, which, like I mentioned in that review, he's hit and miss depending on it. This one, he definitely hits the target. Like I said, that's one of the things I liked about this movie. It takes what the first film did right and amplifies it. And with the writing, that's no exception. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in my review of the first movie was about Blade. In the comics, from what I understand, he's just a normal human who hunts vampires. One thing I like in the movie is that they make him a Dhampir, which if you don't know that, that means he is basically half human, half vampire. But he's not a Dhampir in the traditional sense of the word, because he's basically not, one of his parents is not a vampire. We don't even know much about his father in this series, which is one thing I wonder, where's his father? None of the 3 movies answer that question. Where the hell is Blade's father? Was he like when he found out that the woman's pregnant, he's like, "Steve, I'm going home." Maybe it was Cartman. Yeah, what do you mean, my Wesley Snipes is my son? Okay, God, Jesus. Something like that. Now, the plot of the movie is that ever since the events of Blade 1, Blade has been looking for his friend Whistler, because we all know what happened. I don't want to spoil what happens in Blade 1 for those of you who haven't seen that movie yet and are watching this review, but he finds him and basically makes him normal again, which that's one of the things that I find a little weird though about the plot. I'm like, how does he do that? Did the thing that the girl from the first movie said she wanted to do, did she manage to do it? Depend for certain cases or something. But they never explain it. It's just one little iffy thing I just noticed in retrospect. Doesn't take away my enjoyment of the movie, but he's normal again, even his sunny disposition. And of course, this is after we get a good action in the opening sequence. And it's when he's getting used. It's when they're getting used to everything being back to normal. They are invaded by this one tactical group of vampires, which are like ninjas. Yeah, vampire ninjas. That would be a cool horror movie. The Vampire Ninjas. Well, the ninja vampires are actually coming from a vampire lord named Damaskinos, offering a truce. Now, this makes me wonder, what was Damaskinos doing during the events of the first movie? Was he just watching like, I don't give a crap? Because it makes it sound like he's a pure-blooded vampire. Or at least the movie does, from what I've heard in the deleted scenes. He's not a pure-blood, he's a half-blood. Because he had a human heart, which means he was born a human. That's probably why he wasn't there. But did you mention Deacon Frost at one point in the movie? And they basically say, oh, you did us a good favor by killing him. Which is kind of a little bit what they did with the Kurgan in the Highlander TV show. It's like, oh, Connor did a good thing by killing him. Something like that. Well, apparently a new threat to the entire world has arisen, and it's a threat not to just humans, but vampires. Because in the Blade universe, vampirism is basically, it's a virus that is in the saliva of certain animals. And, of course, when you get bitten, you're going to be infected with it. Which they explain that a little bit more in this movie than the first movie. The first movie, they kind of explain just bite, but they don't explain the virus part of it. Which, I don't mind the virus aspect of it, but it makes me wonder one thing. If vampirism is a virus, I can understand the garlic hurting them because, you know, allergies. I don't understand the silver part of it, though, but because that would seem to go more along if you're going with traditional vampires. And also, this is the big thing I wonder. If it's a virus, why does sunlight kill them? Valid question. Think about it. It would probably, like, I can imagine it like, the sun! I gotta get inside! It's, as in, you know, like, not feeling good on their skin, but making them disintegrate. With the virus, it's kind of hard to believe, but I'm just gonna I just go with it. Even though I question it. Now, this threat is called the Reapers, if I haven't said that already. They feed on humans and vampires, which is why the vampires want this truce with Blade. And as he says in one of the trailers, you want me to hunt them with you. Which, of course, he does. Because apparently, the head Reaper named Nomak, he's basically the only smart one. The rest of them are dumb. And the thing I like about the Reaper design is that they kind of are reminiscent of the vampire design in the movie Nosferatu, and for that matter, Damaskinos is. Which I'm not going to say how that has any plot significance, but it is kind of a red flag early on. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it's kind of a little red flag. And when I mentioned the makeup design earlier, that's what I love about the makeup design here. With the Reapers, the only use of CGI is with their jaws, because their jaws open up before they feed. Now, granted, you probably could have done that with an animatronic, but they use CGI, so for that it doesn't really bother me. And I'm gonna see, I don't know the actor's name off the top of my head. I'm looking to see the guy that plays Nomak. Nomak. Luke Goss. Yeah, I like him. He does pretty good martial arts effects in this movie, and the fight he has with Blade at the end is very good. And he actually was also in Hellboy 2 as the Elvish Prince guy, and he did a pretty good job there too. I want to see him in a little bit more movies. Let's see what else he's been in real quick. If the page will let me scroll down. One thing I hate about Wikipedia sometimes, it doesn't let you scroll down. Blade 2, he was in that Frankenstein miniseries from '04 where he played the creature. He was in Death Race 2. He was in Tekken. Oh, that's another incentive for me to watch Tekken. Could be one of the highlights. Now, another actor in this movie is Ron Perlman, which a lot of you people remember as the guy that plays Hellboy in the Hellboy movies. And he also is one of the survivors from Alien Resurrection, which he's one of the highlights of that movie. Now, him in this role, this is the first role. Actually, I don't know if I saw this before or after Alien Resurrection, because I don't remember when I saw Alien Resurrection. I know it's on TV, but I don't remember what year. But either this or Resurrection was my first role. First one of his roles I saw, but I think it was probably this one. He's one of the vampires in here, and he does a pretty good job. His character is such an ass that what happens to him near the end of the movie, you really are like, yeah, Blade. I know that's kind of a small spoiler, but I didn't say exactly what happened. Now, like all three movies, another thing, all three movies in this series, in the final shooting script, Blade had a sex scene, and each time it was deleted. Now, out of the three films, this is probably the one where you can tell the most that there was one. You can probably tell where it was going to be easiest. And you can see the hints that it was deleted. Like, after one point, Blade and the lead female vampire, I want to get her character name right, Nisa, I believe, or Nisa, or whatever you get. It's at one point that Blade starts talking a little bit more directly to her, and then of course, when she goes back to her father, she says that Blade's an honorable man. Does that mean Demaskinos is like the godfather of vampires? Come to me on the night of my daughter's wedding. I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker. It's like that. What is your name? Blade, motherfucker. But that's how you could tell the scene was deleted. In the first movie, I can see probably why, because in the first movie, it's kind of a little bit harder for me to see those two. The third movie I could also see it's harder like the first one. But in the first movie, I couldn't see where the scene was deleted. The third movie, I could. In this one, I really wish they had kept the scene in the movie. Come on! It would have made the ending of the movie between those two a lot more emotionally. It would make you more emotionally involved and have a greater impact, especially on Blade. And it would give him a little bit more incentive to carry out the wish that she asks him to do. Now, the action scenes in this movie are done very well. I mean, like I said, there's the right amount of CGI and practical stuff in it. And it's one of the reasons why the next movie is a letdown in some respects, but I will get to that. My rating for Blade 2 is 5 out of 5. Like I said, it's my favorite of the trilogy, and I'm proud to have it in my collection. If you have not seen this movie, you should.